In today's video, I am going to be breaking down a hometown basketball player, Shai Gilgeous Alexander, SGA. He's from Hamilton, Ontario. Let's get down, let's check him out. Let's check out some of the moves that he uses to absolutely torch his competition. And of course, how you can also use these exact tactics and moves yourself to be able to score in basketball. Let's get down, let's check out SGA. Okay, so this first move, he goes and jabs right, waits for the player to recover, and then attacks the left side, spins off and attacks and finishes at the rim. How was he able to do this? So of course, after that jab step, that player moves back into a defensive stance, which then Shai Alexander brings the ball back and looks at the rim. This is key. Anytime you do a jab step, you want to back it up with either a drive, a shot, or another fake. And when that happens, if you can bring your feet back looking at that rim, it's going to get that player, especially if they took that step back into a defensive stance. What's going to happen is when you go up for a shot fake or even just look at the rim sometimes, that player is going to be going or getting up into the air, which then you can respond with a negative step. Make sure to have that negative step. It really does propel you forward. And then when you attack, you only want to do 1 to 2 dribbles. And then at that point, that player is going to be running sideways. And this is how you do not want to play defense, because of course, anytime you're running, that player can change directions and it's going to take you an extremely long time to be able to recover from that. So as soon as an offensive player, you see that player running with you, you want to spin off or cross over, and then that player has to try and get his body around to continue to defend you. At that point, you will then have the advantage, especially if you are at the rim. Now, for SGA, what happens is he's able to finish with a very hard circus shot, but it doesn't have to be that hard. You could easily just take 2 steps through and finish at the younger level. But when you start getting into the professional ranks, you're going to have very good help defensive players, where in this case, you could still pass to Adams here for him to finish, but instead, we do see SGA finishing right around the rim, and he's able to use the backboard to his advantage. We can see that really close here where he gets Russell in a sideways run, which is not very good when you're trying to defend somebody as athletic as SGA. He was able to spin off of that and then make him pay around the rim. Now, if you've got a little bit of a bigger player on you and you have speed and athleticism on your side, what you can do is attack that player, whichever side you'd like, really, but use your offhand to clear out space. Like we see here, he's using his elbow and his upper arm. He's locking that arm right there, and then he's able to get that player to raise his hands out of the way. This is very good because now he can use his body to his advantage. He can get his shoulder in front of that player when he's taking his 2 steps. You want to take very long 2 steps here, and you want to get your shoulder, not your elbow, but your shoulder in front of that player, which will then give you a clear lane to that basket. That player who is now behind you, his only response is to reach on you for you to get that and one. Now, we've all seen these zigzag pylon drills, right? Well, this is exactly what you would be practicing for, is this situation. We have a killer crossover. You get to that next pylon, you do a quick spin move off of that pylon, and then you can finish around the rim. You can do an old school ball fake like this, like if you're going to go in for the reverse, and then you can pivot around and go in for that layup. And this is just a basic drill that really incorporates itself into the game. Killer crossover at first pylon, spin off of second pylon, ball fake, and then come around for the layup. Very simple move. You can even practice this yourself by just setting up a couple of pylons, and then after you set up those pylons, all you have to do is crossover, spin or crossover, ball fake, and then back, and then you've got yourself a layup. And you can literally do this over and over and over again until you get bored of it. Now this next move is absolutely fantastic. So he does a quick dribble on the left side, killer crossover that leads to an in and out dribble with a jab step. And then after that jab step, he's able to continue in his left direction, and he's able to take 2 dribbles, 2 long steps, and now he has drawn in a help side defender. He can kick it out for a 3-point shot. He can finish around the rim as well, like he has here. How did he finish around the rim? Well, his second big step, he went shoulder first into that defensive player who was running with him, which continues to push that player back. You remember, you're allowed your own land. His shoulder is still over top of his feet when he pushes off that player, which is why that's not a foul, and he even got the and one. This is another very simple move that he used, that in and out jab step dribble, and then he goes in for a spin and a layup. That in and out jab step crossover is an absolute beast for him. And it's very simple. It's just an in and out. You jab in the direction where you do that in and out. One or two dribbles towards the net, spin off the defender, and of course, finish at the rim. So here he's coming off of a screen and roll, and of course he has his defensive player in jail. That player is behind him. That is essentially jail. So he can then back up in this move. Normally you would want to shoot right about here, but he has a very good shot blocker who is defending him. So he's essentially double teamed here. So what you can do instead, and what he does here, is a quick reverse dribble that gets away from that shot blocker. He is still one-on-one against his main defender, but he's closer to the rim now. And that's going to be key. So once he gets that reverse dribble, he's going to spin off, attack the key once more, and now he's going to take that pivot. This is now the pivot foot. He is going to do that ball fake that he knows and loves to do, which is that one-handed ball fake that always gets the defender to jump. And then he's going to pivot back around, and then he is already square towards the basket because he stopped his dribble on his right foot, and that allows him to turn back around, and he's already lined up for that shot, nice and close. Here he is once more, that in and out jab step crossover, but this time when he comes out of that in and out cross, he goes and does a killer crossover, which really gets that player to really split open a nice big hole between him and Danny Green. And because of that, Shai is able to incorporate a simple layup, and he's able to get to that rim. That was all set up by doing that in and out jab, which froze Danny Green, and then he was able to do that killer crossover, which froze his main defender, and that opened up that huge lane for him to attack the basket. I hope that this video has helped you become a better guard in basketball. If it has, hit that like button and subscribe. I can't wait until Team Canada plays with SGA, and of course, if you want to see any of the equipment that I use, make sure to go check out the links down in the description below, and I'll see you guys again next time.